At 6:02, we'll call this meeting to order. Lori, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Wilson,
Here.
Ms. Jamison,
Present.
Mr. Lednitzky,
Here.
Mr. Olvera,
Present.
Mr. Hurst,
Here.
Ms. Lucero, and Mr. Daniel.
Here.
All right, if everyone please rise, we'll say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item 4, staff reports. Staff reports. Item 5, public hearing. The City of Lacy Lakeview will hold a public hearing to receive comments on the written request by Diag Group LLC that their property located at North IH-35 Waco, Texas, being all of that tract of land located in the Samuel Burton Survey, abstract number 77, McLennan County, Texas, being part of that called 32.19 acres described in instrument to Diag Group LLC, recorded under clerk's file number 202-104-5715 of the official public records of McLennan County, Texas, be annexed into the City of Lacy Lakeview. So the meeting is now, the public hearing is now open at 6:03. Is anyone wishing to speak for or against this annexation request?
Can you clarify who's Diag Group?
Diag Group, this is not what you're here for. This is a separate endeavor, and it looks like no one is
Who are
here. It is, call it to a close. At 6:04, we will recess the public hearing and recess into work session and convene regular session. Agenda item 6, approval of the minutes from the city council meeting held on November 11th, 2025.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes from the city council meeting held on November 11th, 2025.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any discussion items? All right, please poll the council.
Ms. Jamison,
Yes.
Mr. Olvera,
Yes.
Ms. Lucero, Mr. Wilson,
Yes?
Mr. Lednitzky,
Yes.
Mr. Hurst,
Yes.
and Mr. Daniel.
Yes.
Agenda item 7, discussion and consideration of action to appoint Kathleen Dow as the municipal court judge to serve the remaining term of the previous court judge through April 2027. Do I hear a motion?
I move that we approve the action to appoint Kathleen Dow as the municipal court judge to serve the remaining term of the previous court judge through April 2027.
I'll second that. Go ahead.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion?
Oh, there she is. Yes, you can, yeah, she'll just need to sign next time she comes over. Yeah,
So do we do that before we vote?
you have to vote to approve.
Any other discussion? All right. Laura, please poll the council.
Ms. Jamison,
Yes.
Mr. Olvera,
Yes.
Ms. Lucero, Mr. Wilson,
Yes?
Mr. Lednitzky,
Yes.
Mr. Hurst,
Yes.
and Mr. Daniel.
Yes.
Yeah, we go ahead and do the swearing at this time.
We can, yeah, we can.
Yeah, she can do it.
solemnly swear or affirm that you will faithfully execute the duties of the office of municipal court judge in the state of Texas, and will, to the best of your ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state, so help you God. I will. All right. If you will come, just did, and then sign the, I did not, policy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Agenda item 8, discussion and consideration of action to approve the employee holiday schedule for 2026. Do I hear a motion?
I move to approve the employee holiday schedule for 2026.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion?
Calvin, were there any changes to this, other than just to take any extra holidays?
Yeah, actually there is. If you'll notice there on, let me see here. Yeah. Right, on New Year's Day, we actually, New Year's Day is the first, so we actually added the Friday the second.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the only change.
And then, yes, sir, that was
Wouldn't
it.
that be next year?
That is fine.
Well, it might be.
That's all.
Well, no. That'll be for this coming year.
It's coming up.
Yes, sir.
Is that the calendar year or
Yes,
physical
ma'am,
year?
calendar year.
Okay.
Any other discussion? All right, poll the council, please.
Ms. Jamison?
Yes.
Mr. Olvera?
Yes.
Ms. Lucero? Mr. Wilson?
Yes?
Mr. Liniski?
Yes.
Mr. Hurst?
Yes.
And Mr. Daniel.
Yes.
Agenda item 9, discussion and consideration of action to approve a replat of 234 Avenue E, lots 1, 2, and 3, block 13 of the Lacy Summit Edition, being a part of block 13 that called 0.49 acres of land. Do I hear a motion?
I move to approve replat of 234 Avenue E, lots 1, 2, and 3, block 13 of the Lacy Summit Edition, being part of block 13 that called 0.49 acres of land.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Do we have any discussion?
Is there a reason we're doing this? What's the reason?
Yes, sir. This is one, if you've seen in your packets, one larger lot with a house sitting on it, and they're replatting that to a total of 3 lots, and they do meet all the requirements for the city's, square footage.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And planning.
And it was approved by
That's
planning
the
and
one
zoning.
planning and zoning
Yes,
just did?
yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Any other comments? Laurie, please poll the council.
Ms. Jamison?
Yes.
Mr. Olvera?
Yes.
Ms. Lucero? Mr. Wilson?
Yes?
Mr. Liniski?
Yes.
Mr. Hurst?
Yes.
And Mr. Daniel.
Yes.
Agenda item 10, discussion and consideration of action to approve a memorandum of understanding with Infrakey regarding prospective annexation and the provision of water and sewer services. Do I hear a motion?
I move that we approve an MOU with Infrakey regarding prospective annexation and the provision of water and sewer services.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? I don't think this is the time.
You guys can discuss that.
Yeah. This is for the council to ask questions. And if I understand this correctly, we can ask Mr. John questions of him or
Is he here?
he's here.
Yes.
Okay. If anyone on the council would like to ask questions of Mr. Chara.
Can you speak up, please?
Any questions? Any comments? Okay. Laurie, hearing no discussion, please poll the council.
Ms. Jamison,
Yes.
Mr. Olvera,
Yes.
Ms. Lucero, Mr. Wilson,
Yes?
Mr. Lednitzky, Mr. Hurst,
Yes.
and Mr. Daniel.
No.
Item number 11, discussion and consideration of action to approve Resolution 2025-8, a resolution of the City of Lacy Lakeview, Texas, acknowledging a request for consideration of a Chapter 3.
We'd like to speak, we came to speak.
There will be a time in the agenda for that to happen.
voted yes.
Agenda item 11, a resolution of the City of Lacy Lakeview. Please do not interrupt our council proceeding. We have business, and you will have a time to speak. Discussion and consideration. There's not a time for a point of order, sir. You will have your opportunity to speak. Please do not disrupt the meeting. Item 11, discussion and consideration of action to approve Resolution 2025-08, a resolution of the City of Lacy Lakeview, Texas, acknowledging a request for consideration of a Chapter 380 Economic Development Program and tax rebate agreement and a Chapter 312 ad valorem tax abatement rebate within the Reinvestment Zone Number 1, authorizing the city manager to execute a Chapter 380 Economic Development Program and tax rebate agreement and 312 ad valorem tax abatement rebate agreement in accordance with the City of Lacy Lakeview tax abatement rebate policy as amended and pursuant to specific guidelines. Do I hear a motion?
I move that we approve Resolution 2025-08.
I second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion? Laurie, hearing no discussion, please poll the council.
Ms. Jamison, Mr. Olvera,
Yes.
Ms. Lucero, Mr. Wilson,
Yes?
Mr. Lednitzky,
Yes.
Mr. Hurst,
Yes.
and Mr. Daniel.
Yes.
Item 12, discussion and consideration of the action to approve Resolution 2025-09, a resolution of the City of Lacy Lakeview adopting the McLennan County 2025 Hazard Mitigation Action Plan. Do I hear a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the Resolution 2025-09, a resolution of the City of Lacy Lakeview adopting McLennan County 2025 Hazard Mitigation Action Plan.
We ha-
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
So is this already adopted as far as, is this the
No,
same process that we're
yes, sir,
already
pretty
using, we're
much,
just
yeah.
updating it?
Yeah.
Any other discussion? Hearing no more, Laurie, please poll the council.
Ms. Jamison,
Yes.
Mr. Olvera,
Yes.
Ms. Lucero,
What is that?
Mr. Wilson.
Yes?
It is very. Mr. Lednitzky,
Yes.
Mr. Hurst,
Yes.
and Mr. Daniel.
Yes.
We're hearing some interference from a device. If someone would please correct that.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's the sound of the data center. And we're just trying to show you what it's gonna sound like since we didn't have an opportunity to speak before y'all voted on the MOU.
You will have a chance to speak, madam. You will have a chance to speak. Please be seated. We would like to keep the meeting civil and polite. Agenda item 12, discussion and consideration of the action to approve Resolution 2025-09, a resolution of the City of Lacy Lakeview adopting the McLennan County 2025 Hazard Mitigation Plan.
No, yeah.
Chief, can you handle that for us? Thank you. Do we hear a motion on agenda item 12?
Yeah, we've got that.
Oh, we- Okay, sorry. Item 13, discussion and consideration of action to approve ordinance 2025-09. an ordinance of the City of Lacy Lakeview, Texas, amending the meeting at which this ordinance was considered and passed, was open to the public, and declaring an effective date. Sorry. Discussion and consideration of action to approve ordinance 2025-09, an ordinance of the City of Lacy Lakeview, Texas, amending Chapter 96, Parks and Recreation, determining that the meeting at which this ordinance was considered and passed was open to the public, and declaring an effective date. Do I hear a motion?
I move that we approve ordinance 2025-09.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, Laurie, would you please poll the council?
Okay.
Ms. Jamison?
Yes.
Mr. Olvera?
Yes.
Ms. Lucero? Mr. Wilson?
Yes?
Mr. Ledniski?
Yes.
Mr. Hurst?
No.
And Mr. Daniel.
Yes.
Agenda item 14, discussion and consideration of the action to approve updating the investment committee's recommendations for investing City of Lacy Lakeview bond funds in accordance with the city's investment policy. Do I hear a motion?
I move to approve the updating of the investment committee's recommendations for investing City of Lacy Lakeview bond funds in accordance with the city's investment policy.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Laurie, please poll the council.
Ms. Jamison?
Yes.
Mr. Olvera?
Yes.
Ms. Lucero? Mr. Wilson?
Yes?
Mr. Ledniski?
Yes.
Mr. Hurst?
Yes.
And Mr. Daniel.
Yes.
Agenda item 15, public comment. This time is for individuals to address the city council on issues and items of concern not on the agenda. There will be no city council action at this time. There will be a limit of 3 minutes per person. The city council reserves the right to move when appropriate and upon the agreement of the individual, and an individual's request to speak on a specific agenda item, so they may speak at that time. I have a list here, and we will just start with the first one. First speaker, when you speak, if you would come to the podium here on to your right of the audience and state your name and your address, where you live. First speaker is, I believe, Alan Northcutt. Is that right? Oh, yeah.
Whoops, excuse me.
Alan
Sure.
Northcutt.
Okay, it's all right.
I don't think we can let someone come into the hall. No, we can't allow somebody to come in.
Why? We signed them up. There's still in their code.
Can okay, if he's here, there we go. Okay, we found him.
Thank you very much. Kathleen, thank you so much. Sorry you had under the circumstances. Oh, absolutely.
There are available seats if others would like to come in and hear.
Alan Northcutt with Waco Friends of the Climate. My address is 619 Stone Manor Drive, Waco. Mr. Mayor and council persons, thank you for allowing me to speak tonight. The issue of building this $10 billion data center is complex with multiple issues involved. But I would like to raise awareness of the impact this proposed facility will have on global warming, an impact which has not been widely discussed to my knowledge. So why is this important? Because we are in the middle of an often quiet, slow-moving climate crisis which will affect everyone on this planet. At this moment, largely because of our dependence on fossil fuels, we are on course to increase global mean temperature by about 2.7 degrees centigrade above pre-industrial by 2100, an amount far beyond the Paris Agreement goal of 1.5 C, and a level that climate scientists tell us will be catastrophic. The heat deaths, glacial melt, sea level rise, flooding, crop failure, wildfires, hurricanes, water shortage, plant and animal extinction that we observe today will be vastly multiplied. We are crossing tipping points already. For example, our spectacular tropical coral reefs are going to die. They're in the process of dying right now. And this proposed 1.2 gigawatt power plant of the center would emit about 3.8 megaton CO2 equivalent annually, becoming the largest GHG emitter in McLennan County. In addition, the power plant would emit toxic compounds like nitrogen oxides, particulate matter, ozone, worsening local air quality and harming human health. This is important because air quality now in McLennan County is suboptimal. For example, last year there were only 126 days that qualified as good air quality according to AQI. So if this center is built, I believe it's vital that the city negotiate requirements to lessen the damage to our air. Solutions include building wind or solar farms, and we have great resources for wind and solar in this area, as you know. Buying renewable energy through a power purchase agreement, such as the city of Waco has done, and building a large battery for storing clean energy. Eliminating or decreasing the size of this gas turbine is highly recommended. And note that many data centers around the world have been built that now use 100% clean energy, so it can be done. Looking at the InfoKey website and what they're proposing in their video map of it, I don't see any evidence of facilities for clean energy. They just point out the gas yard for the turbine. Okay, and this is just coming, not just coming from me.
Please
I have a
finish-
handout.
Finish your sentence, please.
Okay, I have a handout for you that shows a proposed national data center moratorium signed by over 200 environmental organizations, largely because of the climate crisis. And you should have a copy.
Thank you for your, thank you for your comment.
Thank you.
The next speaker is Miss Sarah Leonard.
Hi, I'm Sarah Leonard, and I have property adjacent to the 520-acre site that is proposed for this data center. I want to expose some facts for you, facts that I've researched. Water. I serve as a director for Bold Springs Water Supply Corporation, which serves areas north of Waco and toward the town of West. Each month since 2008, Bold Springs has paid a substantial amount of money to reserve the right to access water. It's just saving a line, a spot in the line. How can Lacy Lakeview City Council claim there is enough water to supply the demands of this data center? How can they be certain? Other water co-ops are doing the same as Bold Springs in order to get in line for the water. Residential demands should be met before industrial demands. Second point, future expansion. In tonight's MOU that was already voted on, Article 5, Environmental Impact and Public Benefits, Item D, states, quote, construction of regional infrastructure assets, including the Oak Leaf Road and North Katy Road. What are the implications here? They are planning to build a second data center located off Oak Leaf Road between Alliance Auto Auction and Blue Sky I-35 RV Park. Again, water availability, source of electricity. InfoKey plans to build a natural gas energy plant by Taylor Lane. Safety. On April 17, 2013, a fertilizer plant exploded at West. 15 people were killed, 12 of which were West Volunteer Fire Department members. Over 260 others were injured and massive damage done to property compared to bombing sites in war zones. Implications: with a natural gas plant built to scale for not one, but 2 data centers now, what safety procedures and emergency planning are being implemented? What emergency personnel will respond to the first call when a disaster occurs? Who will pay for any damages? Last point, questionable characters. The CEO of InfraKey has a criminal background. There have been 3 criminal cases filed against him involving assault from 2020 to 2023. In March of this year, a major investor in the InfraKey Capital was sued for breach of contract regarding a loan. This was filed in New York. After seeing tonight's board meeting, I'm a little concerned about the questionable characters on this Lacy Lakeview board, since we didn't get to speak before this was coming up. The implications here: InfraKey DC Parks have key personnel and investors that are aggressive in their behavior, and they cannot be trusted until the promises they make and the agreements they sign. This project is the first public-private power project, and we have no recourse if they decide to back out or if they lose their money and go bankrupt. We have no recourse, and this board, Lacy Lakeview City, has no recourse on this company. Thank you.
Mr. or Mrs. Gage? Yeah, sorry.
Hello. Unfortunately, it seems as though the people on the board didn't want to hear me speak before they took a vote, so I'm mostly going to talk to y'all. I don't know if they really care what I have to say at this point. Thank you for voting no. I'm the only person on the board who did. I'm from Lacy Lakeview. Born and raised here my whole life. I went to Conley from kindergarten until I graduated high school. And there's been a lot of talk, just generally and online about this being something that Lacy Lakeview wants. No, we don't. Let me just say that. Maybe that's something that city officials have decided that they want. I did not know about this project until less than a month ago. And now I'm here today to tell you that I don't want it. That I live here, that my family lives here. We don't want it. This is not something that the citizens of Lacy Lakeview have been asking for. I care about my neighbors in Ross. I care about our air quality, because whatever happens over there is coming this way too. They're not going to stop at Katy Road. They're not going to stop at Ross Lane. They're coming here. But even if they don't build here, the air comes here anyway, y'all. We share our air. Everybody, we're breathing the same air. It's all around us. And, we already heard from Alan Northcutt. He had some great statistics for us about the air quality. It's going to get bad and worse. If you look at rural counties all around the United States, in Pennsylvania, in Georgia, in Alabama, they're already building these centers. People are already suffering. Cancer rates are going up. People can't breathe. People's water is brown. I'm not sure if anyone from InfraKey is here today or will see or hear what I have to say, but please hear and see me whenever I say you're not welcome in our community. You're not welcome in McLennan County. We don't want your projects. We don't want your AI data centers. That's not what we want. We want clean air. We want our cedar trees. We want our pecan trees and our oak trees that we grew up climbing on. We don't want this shit. Excuse my language. And since I'm getting worked up, I'll stop.
Next speaker is Mark Dawson.
When y'all come up, make sure you introduce yourself and your address.
My name is Mark Dawson. I live at 1945 Fort Graham Road. Mr. Mayor, council members, thank you for hearing us tonight. Can you say that again? Thank you. I appreciate it. I think we all do. Well, what's happened to us here? We're neighbors. we're two communities that are back to back with each other, and all the people that we're hearing from on this side, they're afraid. They're afraid. We are for our homes. And the reason for that is because so much of the information that is going to impact our lives is unknown. So I have a request tonight that's, maybe it's a little unorthodox.
I'm sorry, please continue.
Just time out. Give us time. Give us time as our community to learn what we're facing. We've known about this for 17 days, the larger part of us.
Some of us less.
But the point is, we need some answers that we just don't have yet, nor do you. You extended to us the courtesy of showing up at our meeting the other night. That was a hard meeting, and I appreciated the kind of flack that you sustained. You council members, you would have been impressed with your mayor and how he withstood that. But at the end of that meeting, you might recall, I asked you, how are you going to decide this? Remember that? Remember what you said to me? You said, I'm going to weigh the pros and the cons. Remember that? Well, the pros are pretty much known. This plant and its backers have put on the table for your community what you stand to gain. But the cons are unknown. That's why we are afraid. So many of the things that have been raised just so far tonight have no answers. So I'm asking you, as a term of action, table any further votes on this particular project, this endeavor. Give us 6 months. We need 6 months to get up to speed on what's going to happen to our homes. And then let's sit down and reason together. Thank you.
That's it. Catherine Beechner.
Can you hear me okay?
No.
Good evening, Mayor Wilson, council members. My name's Catherine Beechner.
Catherine, we can't hear you. Can you get closer?
That's what I wondered.
The microphone is for the live stream, so you'll just need to
Okay,
project.
so I can holler. I can do that. I live at 2013 Fort Graham Road, and interestingly, I'm speaking after Mark because I thought of all kinds of facts to share tonight and figures to throw out, but I found my heart going more towards in the same direction as our neighbor Mark. I just wrote down tonight, I'm asking you if you would do 3 things. Just if you'd consider. First, actually listen to the community. 2, postpone all moves forward with InfraKey. 3, consider collaborating with local people to brainstorm alternative means of growth for Lacy Lakeview. I know that sounds a little silly, but I can back it. We have a growing list of legitimate, scientifically based, factual concerns about this agreement that you're making. I'm here to ask that you would postpone all these moves forward to allow time. We didn't collaborate. I had no idea he was going to say that. To allow time to heed these legitimate concerns. Some you'll hear tonight, many more in the very near future. Evidence of devastating impact this data park would have on families, environment, water, power, resources for Lacy Lakeview, Waco proper, and McLennan County, not just Lacy Lakeview, not just Ross, including even with the measures that InfraKey has mentioned that they will use with recycling water and other generating its own power. That doesn't mitigate. I understand it does mitigate some, but it doesn't mitigate them all. I understand you have projected tax money, some jobs, some infrastructure benefits. I get that. We understand that there are some loopholes in those expectations and harms that would eventually outweigh the benefits. How about some other means to bolster a community's wealth and infrastructure with less destruction that communities all across the entire country are already experiencing from AI data parks at this point? McLennan County with Lacy Lakeview, all the other surrounding communities are rich with intelligent, active, passionate people who care and invest themselves to build up this remarkably beautiful county that we have. McLennan boasts hundreds of charities here, all working, giving, supporting, serving. But to do that, we need to be respected, consulted, and mobilized, not dismissed, not shunted aside in order for any officials that we've elected in order to help us to instead sign contracts with, yada, yada, yada. It's not, that doesn't work for all of us, and it doesn't empower your people. So, we understand desires for improvement. We understand reasonable technology growth. We get all that. But these should serve the people. They shouldn't enslave the people. They shouldn't exploit the people. Instead of contracting for a rapacious AI data park, push pause, consult with your people. They are your greatest resource.
Finish your sentence, please.
They are the ones who will also suffer the consequences of negative, rash decisions. So please don't bulldoze them, but consider. And thank you for your time.
Heather Harris.
I'm Heather Harris. I live at 1945 Fort Graham Road, and I am new to this community. I'm very sorry to hear that already we have a really large issue to address. I haven't even gotten to really get to know many of you or get used to living in the town before I find out that right down the road from me, there's a data center that's going to be coming in that may risk my health, that is definitely going to affect our environment, that is going to cause all of us grief that none of us asked for. I did a little research because I am a researcher, and part of what I learned about these data systems or these large data centers and I would hope that our council members would do the same kind of research, because these are large decisions that are going to be made that will impact you and your family members as well. So before further action is taken on anything more, I am begging you, imploring you, please do further research and don't just trust what billionaires and millionaires are saying about what they want to bring to our community, but instead watch the videos on YouTube. There are many of people who have been impacted already by these data centers and what it has done to their health and their environment. It's very easy to find that information. I found also that the modus operandi of most of these data centers coming in is to buy up land in poor communities, low SES, typically people of color, and cause them to believe that they're going to bring something to the community, invigorate them, or include things that we've never had access to before. But I want to guarantee that with that there is a cost, a great cost. And I would implore you to research what that cost is going to be. Nothing is for free. I would also implore you to listen first to your community, because these people, these millionaires and billionaires who are coming in to build this data center in our community, they have no interest in us, the civilians of this community. They only have interest in increasing their pockets and in causing themselves to be elevated. But what it will do to the actual people of this community, I don't think they really care. The jobs that they promise to bring in are mostly going to be outsourced to people who already have the expertise to run these centers. Yes. It is not going to be to the people in this community. Historically, that has been the case with these data centers. I would just summarize that to say, please, please do your research. It is not difficult to find the research and the answers to what we're asking you to listen to tonight. Thank you for your time.
All the tech in the world and my pen is out of ink. So sorry. Thank you. I've got one. Thank you.
We had a bad batch.
Yeah. Next speaker is Lauren Hill.
Put this on my phone. So, alrighty, thank y'all for your time. So I come from a long line of shutterbugs, so I brought some
Lauren.
photos for y'all to
Lauren,
review.
Please state your name
Yep.
and address.
It's Lauren Hill, 9317 Bryce Drive. So I brought some photos for you guys to review. My family has lived out here on the same piece of property for 7 generations, since before the 1900s. In the middle of that framed photo is my family's matriarch, Mally Owen Hill, taken in the 1890s. She came to McLennan County from Mississippi and started a small ranch on about 100 acres after her husband was killed in the Civil War. It was just her and her kids until she remarried, but they tended the land as a family. Throughout the years, a few homes were built. The one pictured was built back in the 1930s, and it's still in my family. We celebrate Christmas over there whenever I was growing up. All of that to say, we come into this world with nothing, we're given a name, and for a lucky few of us in rural parts of Texas, we also inherit the right to continue living on the same ground that our ancestors lived on. When we leave this world, all we take with us is our name. The rest, our property, our possessions, and our culture, we leave to our descendants. For many of us, we aren't leaving financial wealth for our children. Our land is the only thing that we're rich in. We're rich in the sounds of nature and in seclusion from the busyness of the city. We're rich in privacy and the countless stars that you can see on clear nights. So to strip the value of neighboring residential properties with this power plant is effectively taking an inheritance that for some has been in their families for generations. You're taking peace and quiet that's been passed down in families for over a century. And it's hard for me to see the rationale behind this decision that isn't rooted in corporate greed and personal political ambitions. If I'm not mistaken, Mr. Mayor, this is your 7th month in office. This city has around 3,700 registered voters, and of those, only 147 showed up to vote for you in May. I don't intend this as a personal attack, and I hope that you're not offended by it, because I would say this about anybody in your position. I find it hard to believe that someone who has only the support of 5% of their city is capable of making a decision this big that impacts not only your community, but many communities surrounding it. I'm skeptical that you have even your constituents' best interests at heart when only 5% of them showed up to vote you into office. Infrkey, on the other hand, seems to have chosen you and your city deliberately. Please consider why that is. I ask that you also consider whether this deal that they're offering is too good to be true. This company has, to myself and many others, alchemized its value out of thin air, and it's rushing you to act before you look too closely. I don't believe they can deliver on their promises. I don't believe that you will hold them accountable when that happens. The decision that you make today is going to follow you, and I really hope that you choose to do the right thing. And it's not too late to change your mind. Thank you for your time.
I'm sorry, I'm making notes, if you don't mind. Next speaker is Danny Foreman. Danny Foreman. we'll come back to Mr. Foreman if he shows up. Next speaker, Paul Lutke.
Paul Lidke, 502 North Oak. I don't have anything prepared, just stuff off the top of my head here. That's what I always do. This council and everybody already knows how opinionated I am. But that don't work in here.
It's for live.
It's
only
for live
stream.
It's for live stream, yeah. It's okay. Thank you for helping, though. Very nice.
Anyway, I've been coming to these meetings about 2 years straight. And what you see tonight, what you saw tonight, what you disagreed with tonight, happens all the time. They do what they do, and then we find out about it later. So this is what the city you have. The only way to do that is to change these people. Make them bolder.
Yeah.
And like I said, they know how opinionated I am. They know how much I disagree with them. So I'm just doing it again. All this stuff in here, this legalese and everything that they voted on, and they already passed it. Everything you said makes no difference. I'm sorry, I wish it did, but it doesn't. This administration, this council, all they see are dollar signs when they see this place.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So that's what you have to live with. The only way to fix it is the next election. Vote somebody else that has your interest at heart, not them.
And if you can't vote here, then what?
Please, not time for comment.
Anyway, that's about it. But like I said, y'all know how I feel about everything. The fact that we get no say. They have to hold these meetings. They have to let you get up here and talk, but they don't listen. They do what they want. And I've pointed out that with them before. So that's about all I have today.
Is Mr. Foreman available now? Okay. Chris Gavitt? I'm sorry, Gravitt.
Chris Gravitt, 2816 North Katy Road. My property is directly across from the proposed land to build the data center. And so, Mayor, I appreciate your time Sunday meeting with us. Understand that was a hard meeting. And anyone that's been through hard meetings, as I've been through recently, understands how difficult they truly are and when your peers are facing you with tough questions. Council members, I think at this time you've heard the emotions behind this. I grew up as a resident in Belmead, graduate of La Vega High School. Fun fact, I actually, Councilmember Hurst, your sons graduated a year or two ahead of me and enjoyed band and other activities with them. So as far apart as we may become after that time, we're still very close. And this is the same for this council. I don't want to rant and rave because that's not going to do any justice here. But what I can say is it is quite appalling, aggravating, concerning that our neighbors would make decisions that have no impact on them, quite frankly, outside of possibly air quality.
Exactly.
In regards to a community that sat quietly, to some degree you could say we were preyed upon. So I want to throw a few facts out there for you to consider as neighbors of you that really are ran on well water, and we don't have the luxury necessarily of piped in water. When we look at the magnitude of this data center, which you've been implored to really look into the facts of them, not many of the magnitude that's offered here currently exists, though the technology is expanding and more of those are becoming proposed. 1 gigawatt of power, it's a lot of power. I had to look up what that meant. It's enough to power 750,000 to 1 million homes. McLennan County, the entire county, has 102,000 homes. So for this one data center, we're looking at 7 to 10 times consumption on an annual basis of the entirety of McLennan County. That's equivalent to half of all the power produced by the Hoover Dam. So in terms of magnitude, you can see what this is going to do. You may all recall during COVID, the snowstorm that came through. Me and many of my neighbors are just now done paying off the effects of what that caused for our local cooperative. Yes. Many of us have had bills that have been double for the past many years since that point. The expectation is, with the introduction of this, that will likely become reality from here on out. In addition to that, water is a big issue. You can look now, it's posted, City of Waco has their 2015 water master plan. As we know, we went through grave drought conditions with very strict water restrictions. The only thing that really eased us from that was the terrible flooding that's recently occurred. So we've benefited from an unfortunate event similar to what has been proposed here for you all that we would consider. In a 2023 report from the City of Waco, it was publicized or published that there was only 2 years remaining of water in Lake Waco, much of which would be depleted, or they expected to be depleted before this flood event occurred.
Yes, please finish your sentence.
What I would ask for you to do is not only think about the impact to your neighbors and community, but based on the amount of consumption from one resource, the downstream impacts are incredible. That will affect us all. So please take everything into account as you review. And more than anything, what we ask is that you be transparent with us. Thank you.
Next is George Seeger. George Seeger. Is he here? He's coming. What did you do to yourself? Sorry.
Sorry for the dramatic entrance, but George Seeger is my name. I live at 103 Poolside Drive. And Mayor and Council, I appreciate the opportunity. This is unscripted and can probably be short. I don't think that y'all are people. I think you guys have some really hard decisions ahead. There's a lot of things to consider when you look at this, and I really look forward to finding out what's going to come of it and what information comes to the top. I am very vested in Lacy Lakeview. I care very much. And there's been a lot of fear and everything put out about this situation, and I'm not sure how much of it would prove true, but as I see it on a more positive note, I think Lacy Lakeview could benefit quite a bit from bringing in a data center, even bringing in a power company. I think Lacy Lakeview needs a shot in the arm, and that's very much what this would be. I think you guys have to consider roads, you have to consider the schooling, you have to consider the homes that are here, and how to help those exist, and how to help the people who live in this community live here And I think that bringing this business in has a very positive potential. And I just mentioned a few. Jobs coming in, infrastructure improvement, a huge benefit for the school. All this basically increased tax base. So I just wanted to register my opinion and let you know that there is someone out in this audience that falls more on the pro side rather than the con side of this. And so I appreciate this. But in your backyard.
It's not your backyard.
I'm actually, I live in Lacy Lakeview area.
Please, this is not the forum. Please let the gentleman leave.
City is tax incentives and don't pay property taxes. And that MOU.
I'll probably pay more than you.
For sure.
Carla Garcia.
My name is Carla Verba Garcia. I live at 2789 Ross Road. I've been there for 30-something years. I actually grew up in the city of Waco. My ancestors are from Weston Tours, and so I got back out here as soon as I could, which was in the 70s. And I've been in Ross for almost 35 years. My concern is mostly the noise pollution, primarily. And that is because it's going to put out 80 to 110 decibels on a regular basis. If you're in a workplace and the decibels are regularly 85, you are required to wear hearing protection. So that means when I'm in my backyard, it's going to be like I'm standing next to I-35. That's not why I moved out to the country. That's not why my neighbors have lived out there for 7 generations. That's not why any of us are out there. We want the peace and quiet. If I have to, I can wear hearing protection to go outside and feed the animals and to take care of things. But what are the animals going to do? What is it going to do to your cows that you're raising when they are impacted by this noise day in, day out? We don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if it affects them physically. Same thing with the sheep, same thing with the chickens, same thing with everything. Dogs and cats, coyotes, deer. I think that it's going to disrupt our way of life so horribly that we won't even be, it won't be good to live out in the country anymore. It'll be just like being in the middle of town. And that's why we are all out there. We want the peace and quiet and the serenity of nature, not clear-cutting 500 acres of trees, disrupting the habitat of all the animals there. I'll be out on my back deck and I'll be looking at entropy. I won't be looking at what I see now. I see deer coming through. I see bobcats. I see coyotes. Don't like them, but I see them. And that's the way it should be. We all moved out to the country for a reason, or we stayed there, our families lived there, and stayed there for a reason, and that's for the peace and quiet and serenity, and we just want to live our lives. Just leave us alone. Don't ruin what we have out there. There's too many people out there. I've seen some of the news reports on television, and they show bleak, desolate landscapes out there. They don't show all the residents, all the homes that are out there, all the people. There's a lot of us out there, and we don't want this. Nobody out there wants this, and we feel like we're just having our lives ripped away from us.
Yes, absolutely.
And just please, please think about this and think about other people. Think about something besides dollars going to trillionaires, billionaires, millionaires. They don't care about us.
No, they don't care about you.
They don't care, and they're not gonna be here, and they're not gonna see the devastation. They're not gonna see all the
Please,
problems
please,
it causes.
ma'am, it's time.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
Just, please think about us when you're making your decisions. Thank you.
Paul Neslony.
Hello, my name is Paul Neslony. I've spent most of my life living in Lacy Lakeview.
Address, sir? What's your address?
My address is 2624 North Katy Road. I spent most of my life living in Lacy Lakeview. And that's why I moved out into the country. For the peace, serenity, to be able to do what we feel free to do. This will basically ruin everything. For most people living out there, the noise, the air we breathe, the water we drink, everything, the infrastructure. The only thing we were offered basically was, well, it'll bring y'all water and sewer. Well, everybody living out there's already got water and sewer. We're fine with the way we are. And it's kind of like, I've heard that Lacy Lakeview is trying to fight a concrete batch plant because they don't want it in their backyard. Well, why put a power plant in our front yard? I mean, we don't want it. It won't be any good for us. It's going to be detrimental to people's lives and everything they have to deal with, everything they stand for. I don't know where Mr. Wilson got his information. He told us that it would be quieter than the Golson Road. And that sounds like a lot of malarkey or pretty asinine. Said that the power plant would not run more than 30 minutes a month just to test it out. How much is this power plant going to cost them to build? Probably about $3 billion. You think they're going to let this thing sit idle all month waiting for a breakdown? No, that's not the way that stuff works. Anybody with any business sense will tell you that. And we're not just a bunch of dumb hicks from the country. A lot of us came from the same places that everybody else in here did. We're not dumb, we're not stupid. We like things quiet. We like living to our own. We don't want to be part of anybody's city. Moved out of Lacy Lakeview. I didn't want to move back into Lacy Lakeview. You know, people that don't live out there, well, that may be, look at all the money. Look at all the money. It might be good for them or whatever. It won't do anything for us but make lives miserable for everybody. Industry needs to be in an industrial site and situation, not in a residential rural neighborhood where people are tending their farms, in their gardens, raising cattle, trying to raise their kids without being in the city. Why bring the city to this? Leave it industry where industry needs to be with the rest of them. I mean, I don't feel like we deserve this. We didn't ask for this. As far as anything, it's going to make utilities go up and be higher. For every data center that's built increases taxes. That's pretty well a given. And it does the noise level, the pollution, everything else. So this is not good for the people. I'm not against data centers. They just need to be in their proper places, not in a rural neighborhood where people live. It'll be like right in front of my house, 2 houses over, and the next thing you know, that's what I'll have. And you can't keep the noise out of your house even at night. When you go in the house, the vibration of these things, it puts out a low frequency vibration which tends to shake buildings. It's not just a high-pitched sound that you can kind of block out. You can feel the noise. So anybody that's telling us, oh, this won't be loud, this won't be this, obviously really don't know. They're just what somebody told them, and if they're...
That's your time. Please finish your sentence.
I think if you're naive enough to believe that it won't be any noisier than this and that, you're in the wrong position. Thank you.
William Hatcher.
My name's William Hatcher. I live at 2111 Fort Graham Road. Actually, it's 2111 and 2113. My parents have the house in front of me. We just moved back out here in April. I actually went to school at TSTC, later came back and taught for 2 years at TSTC. So I do have some roots here in this community. Now, we left for 25 years, raised our kids up in Dallas where I had opportunities. And I was at the Sunday meeting, and I'm not saying anything that hasn't already been said. You did tell us that, you know, this power plant, you call them power generators, we're only going to be run for like 30 minutes once a month, and when there's a disaster. These are not power generators. This is a power plant. This power plant is going to spew out hydrocarbons and pollutants in our air. And I'm downwind from where this power plant is going to go in. It's going to lower our property values in the area. It is going to create noise. It is going to create the vibrations. And I read in your MOU that it's supposed to bring 30,000 in construction and permanent jobs. Now my question to you, and I know this is not the forum to ask questions, but my question to you is, how many of those jobs, 30,000, are actually going to be permanent and be filled by members of your community, members of your constituents? These data centers do not have large numbers of people. I work in IT. Now, I don't work in data centers. I work in telecommunications, but I know I've worked in data centers before. You don't need a large staff to keep the data center running on site. You need a few people for touch, and that's it. Most of these jobs are going to get outsourced, and a lot of them, Mr. Mayor, City Council, are going to be outsourced outside of the United States. Not just outside of your community, but outside of our country. So the only benefit this data center has is money. That's it. Thank you.
Item 16, Mayor's Report. I rarely speak at this time, but I think it is appropriate that I say something this evening. Just let us pass them around.
Everybody gets one.
We've heard everyone's concerns here tonight. I want to thank you all for coming. You are our neighbors. I made some notes here. Mr. Gravitz, you mentioned the word peers. I think that's a good point. We are peers. We're citizens of a great country, and we're citizens of a great community. And this is a community. Many of us here went to college schools. In some way, we're a great community divided by four cities: Lacy Lakeview, Elmont, Chalk Bluff, and Ross. As I mentioned in our your meeting last Sunday, my grandparents bought my property on Golson Road in 1947. I live in the house, and there's a picture, Miss Hill. There's a picture of my mother handing me to my great-grandmother, getting out of the car from the hospital, bringing me home. And I live in that house that is in the background of that picture. So when you speak about legacy and you speak about the history and the ties, I know what you're talking about. When I lived overseas for 10 years, I used to sit and think and try to remember my grandparents' back porch, the house I now live in, and try to remember the bullfrogs that I heard on the creek and the cicadas that I heard in the trees and the crickets, the song of the South. And it's gone. All I can hear now is Golson Road. So I not only understand the affection that you have for the country lifestyle, because I grew up there when it was in the country. And today I have 25,000 cars down the front of my property. I really didn't want it. but everybody else needed it. And so it came. That is the nature of economic development and economic growth. Cities tend to grow, and the country tends to become the suburb, and the suburb tends to become the city. I wished it was not always that way, but that's life.
It doesn't have to be.
I didn't interrupt y'all, okay? We had, and Ms. Hill made a comment I thought was good, decisions will follow us. I thought that was a powerful concept. Our decisions do follow us. The citizens of Lacy Lakeview said no to a bond in 2001. And for 20 years. Several of them when I was here in the council with great frustration. I heard the council. Citizens won't vote. Citizens won't do it. We can't do it. And our streets, I can't begin to tell you how bad our streets were. It had to reach the point where the citizens became outraged about the conditions of the streets. And a new council with new leadership to get a bond passed. And I appreciate that for the citizens of Lacy Lakeview. That was the right thing. It was painful. Taxes went up on people who didn't necessarily have enough money to where it wasn't being. So the last one, all we see are dollar signs. Thanks.
Exactly.
Well, let me tell you about the dollar signs. When you're the mayor of a city, when you're on a city council in a city, when you're on the staff of a city, one of the most basic jobs you have is when somebody flushes their toilet, that what goes away is supposed to go away. You got to make sure the water runs. You got to make sure the streets work. You got to make sure the water flows when people turn the tap. I just want to run through some of the numbers that we're dealing with in our city. We have a sewer line that is full. It's going to cost us approximately, we haven't gotten bids, but I have talked to engineers and asked for hip pocket estimates per mile. We're looking at about $15 million, 1.5 times the very painful bond that was just passed for our city, to put that new sewer line in to upgrade and connect to Waco. The problem is the Waco main that we put that sewer into is full. And Waco does not have their potential solution for that on the books for their 2030 proposed budget. I don't know if I have 5 years. I know I don't have 10. And I'm expected to find a solution for my people. And that is the context in which we came into contact with Infrakey. They were looking for effluent. They heard we had a sewer problem. No one has been sold out. Please. Please, ladies and gentlemen, we need to have order. You were allowed to speak.
But you didn't give us a...
Ma'am, stop. Please stop. Please don't make us escort you from the room. I don't want to do that. But we will maintain order. I have to fix that problem. And the problem is to sell the effluent. That's a $15 million problem. I have 300 brick manholes in our sewer system that need refurbishment. That's $2.5 million. Because right now in the rain event, the water infiltrates, and we are actually paying Waco to treat rainwater. I have a $2 million that I'm anticipating having to spend on 6 lift stations that need refurbishment. I have $1 million.
That's why we live outside this community.
One more comment, sir, and I'll have the police escort you from the room. I have a fire engine that we need to buy for $1 million. I have a firehouse to put that fire engine in because the current firehouse we have won't fit any available fire engine that we could buy. I have a $500,000 problem on Crest Drive that the state of Texas won't fix. It's their drainage problem, it's their easement, and it's putting water in the yards of my citizens. I have a $750,000 requirement to refurbish the 2 water towers that we have. I have a $500,000 requirement for the Myers Lane Station that needs 3 pumps. Officers, would you please escort this woman out of the room? I have a $2.5 million need for a new police department because you should see how tightly packed our police department is in the building that they have. That's 20. Would you please escort this lady out of the room?
Is that one there's 2 plans for a data center to be built? One's not enough for the growth and everything that Lacy Lakeview needs to have? So that instead of 1 data center, Lord, let's have 2. Thanks, guys.
And I have a $2.5 million need for a police department. That's $26 million worth of things that need to be done this year. And I have a current budget of $10 million. Now, some of these things can wait. But they can't all wait, and not all of them can wait as long as it's going to take. I also have 39 miles of road, 40 miles of aging sewer line that adds another $80 million if we were to do it all at once, which we don't need to, but it does need to be done. It costs money to run a city, and it is not possible to simply tax the people to pay them. So when a corporation approaches you with economic development plans that is bringing a potential $15 billion worth of tax base, it is impossible for us to just say, no, thank you, and walk away. It would be the most irresponsible thing we could do. What we did tonight was to take the first step about setting parameters for what we expect to see from this company before we move forward with annexation. In any economic development project like this, everyone has to jump at once. We have a tremendous amount of due diligence to do. We have a lot of due diligence to do. We have weeks and months of work. We have time to evaluate. This council and I have done research. And we have found things in addition to what you've said. We've found things in conflict to what has been said. And we have found some things in agreement with what has been said. So please, give us time, give us the respect to work through these problems. The good news is there are good things. This potential development represents multiple orders of magnitude of additional revenue. I hate to say, and this is one of the big problems we have in this process, is everyone here rightfully wants answers. We hear you. We would like answers too. And they're being worked on. But at this point, we don't have concrete answers that we can come and tell you. I can't tell you how much money I think tax revenue might be generated by this, because if I say that number, it sounds like I'm making a promise. And I don't want to do that to my citizens. I don't want to do that to you. I've got to find out and learn more. But I can tell you that this is going to make possible a lot of things. There's going to be a full-time fire department on site at this location. It will make possible revenues between the current city of Lacy Lakeview and this development to bring infrastructure that will benefit people, everyone in between the 2 facilities. So please give us some time to work through these things, and we will do so carefully and thoughtfully, because this is our community too. Anyone on the council wishes to comment at this time? Councilman. Council wishes to have a comment? Please.
If any of you here had property which you sold for this project, I would like to talk to you. I've already talked to one citizen. but I would like to talk to you. I'll be here and be glad to talk to you.
Any other comment? The council will be around in the evening. Mr. Duksharam from Infrakey is here. Please be civil, ask questions and listen, and be a good citizen. Thank you very much. The meeting is adjourned.